Hello and welcome to the Fed by Farmers podcast with me, Cammy Wilson.
And me, Iona Murray.
Iona, how have you been this week?
I've been well.
Yes, tell me one thing you've done.
Been here most of the time.
Yes, you are working like, not quite working like a slave.
No, you're paying me.
A slave would get evenings off. You would hope. But yeah, no, but things are going well.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah, we're looking forward to a big summer season here, and we've got some exciting stuff happening with Fed by Farmers. With the clothing range. Not going to announce that just yet, but we will announce something big very, very soon. What about me?
How are you?
Oh, I'm good, thanks. I just need somebody to ask that. Do you know, it just makes me feel better knowing that someone cares. So yeah, no, I've had a good week just scanning every day. In fact, literally just rushed here. I'm late as usual to make this podcast. And we've just been scanning every day.
How do you find scanning? Do you enjoy it, or is it just a means to an end?
Do you know, I said before that I don't enjoy it that much, but actually, do you know, this can sound crazy. I enjoy it so much more now that you're doing all the other work.
Yeah, so it's not in the back of your head.
Oh, yeah, because before it was always like high pressure. You know, like I've probably been to 6 or 7 different places today. You're trying to communicate with all those farmers, trying to pick accurate times that you'll be there.
It's a nightmare.
Because I hate folks standing about waiting. And then do that, 1-2 days in advance all the time. So you're constantly on your phone, making calls, text messages, trying to judge things, balance things. Then someone has to change their plans and you have to rejiggle it.
Nightmare.
And before you started working in here, I had to do all of that and all of the emails and everything else in the evenings. And it was just like...
Too much.
Today's podcast, of course, brought to you in partnership with Crystalix and Animax. Great for us. Working with the same folk for a solid year. That is the plan. They're tied in now. There's no backing out. I can go on some mad offensive rant. And, they didn't even put that in the contract.
Did they not?
No, it's like there's no small
We
print.
can literally say what we want.
Whatever we like.
Can we?
Mad, innit?
Yeah, it is.
Mad. It's like,
I'm a wee bit nervous.
Nah, we'll be fine. We keep it very PC. My mum listens, so I've got to be careful.
Yeah.
But yeah, we've got a wee bit of that behind. We've got other things to come. We've got some Animax boluses, Trace Your boluses to come. Jazz the place out. I've obviously worked with Crystalix forever. Animax is a new thing for me, but we're going to give it a go.
Okay.
And yeah, I'm excited to use it and work with it. The great thing with working with them, they've got really slick adverts, and you're going to hear a bit more of that later on the podcast.
What sort of money's in scanning?
Crazy money.
Like what?
Oh, so like I charge anywhere from 55 to 65 pence, generally speaking.
Right, okay.
For scanning.
So how much would you make in an average? How much did you make today?
Oh, good question. So today I did 660. Right, 600. You can add it up.
Right, okay, I'll do the maths.
Okay. This might be like counterproductive. Folk will be like, what do you need to do all the other stuff for if you're scanning sheep? So 660 at one place. So
what am I doing? Oh, I'm just adding up.
Yeah, just add them up. 660. Then we did a 200, and then I did a 262, and then there was a 399 because we were like, 399, and then I did a small job that was just 48 Herdwicks. Well, that's priced slightly different, but let's just keep it the same structure. What we at there?
1569.
1569. I think that might be it.
And then you're charging what, did you say?
55 pence.
Sometimes in by 0.55.
Yep.
And then is that in pence?
No, that's in pounds.
£862.95.
Not sure if you worked that. That must be right. Okay. Yeah, okay.
Okay.
Decent day.
Yeah, fair play.
Decent day. For a Sunday.
Take it easy on a Sunday.
Yeah, we usually do, just, because it's the Lord's Day and it's what he would have wanted.
Absolutely, of course we would.
Yes. Good old Jason. Yeah, good day actually when you put it that way. But I genuinely never think about it like that for a second.
I know.
I mean, the farm overdraft just now is sitting roughly about minus 28,000. So
is it?
Yeah. So, but it peaks.
How do you feel like that about that? But I suppose
never worry for a second.
No.
Never worry, because as long as the value of the stock is more than the value of the debt, I never worry.
Then you're not in debt.
Well, exactly. You know, let's minus 28,000 in the overdraft, which to most farmers like is nothing.
Yeah.
Like, you know, most farmers have huge overdraft. Not well. Would most farmers? No, maybe not most farmers. A lot of farmers have huge overdrafts. But, you know, 28,000 when you have 1,400 sheep running.
Yeah.
You know, if we say 1,400 sheep, even for easy counting at £100 a head, you'd be looking at 140. So you're well in positive. So I never worry about it. You know, it's if someone came to me and said that has to be repaid tomorrow, you would just phone.
You can do it.
Phone the market and say, "Give me 28,000. I'm not selling my sheep." For sure. So we didn't do any questions last time. We're catching up on your trip to Thailand. To be honest, I think, you know, when I listen to podcasts, I quite enjoy just the general chat about it's like, see all that nonsense there, like you're just doing maths and making me look like I'm making a lot of money and now nobody will invest in the podcast or anything I do ever again because scanning. But should we talk about why scanning is so much money?
Yes, let's.
Now, there's a few, it's quite a hard one to justify, I think, but I'll try. The main reason is, one, it's incredibly difficult to learn.
Why?
Like, because it's very hard to get work. And when you're doing the job and you're learning, you don't know you're making there's no immediate feedback.
Oh yeah, you've got to wait till
You've got to wait till it's too late. And then by that point, you can't remember. So if you scan a sheep and you look at the screen and say, right, that's twins. When the farmer phones you in April and says, oh, there's a lot of triplets, you don't know what one you looked at was wrong.
No, and you don't know what mistake you're making.
Yeah, you don't know what mistake you're making. So, I mean, there's ways to negotiate that a little bit. And like I did a training course with Progressive Animal Services. Check them out on Facebook if you want to learn to scan. Duncan Kennedy and David and Bruce Gallagher take a course down in Thornhill and Dumfries. So I did the beginner and the advanced the following year. I was mentored, Hugh Blythe. I went around with him a lot and got a bit of experience with Hugh, who does your scanning, of course, Chris Flatt. I didn't particularly, but I know other boys. One guy like Ryan McLean, who is Highland Agricultural Contractors, he did a great way of learning. He had his sheep scanned by an experienced scanner early on, and then just kept scanning them. So he had maybe 80 sheep, and he would scan them, see how he got on, come back a week later, scan them again. And then it was just clever, very clever, because then he's got the experience of scanning sheep at every stage.
Yes, that's a great idea.
And just kept doing it until he was getting them all right, or more or less getting them all right. And then that was a great way to learn. Because, you know, if you get 80 sheep professionally scanned of your own, you could scan 400 sheep a day, every day, till you learn it. Okay, it's the same 80 sheep you're scanning.
Yeah, but that doesn't matter.
Yeah, you mark them so you can't see it when you're sitting down, and it's a great way to learn. So that is what I would advise anyone doing it. But so that's one of the things that's difficult to learn. And when I first started, I went from being Cammy Wilson, the good sheep shearer, to Cammy Wilson, the useless sheep scanner.
Right, okay.
Very quickly. And as you know, bad news travels a lot faster.
Yeah.
You know, a farmer won't go, some shearer, that boy. They'll say, had him in scanning my sheep, he's absolutely useless.
Yeah.
And there is people out there that will say that about me. Like, because...
Well, you have to learn, though.
Oh, you do, but like, once you've blown your chance at a place...
Yeah, you're done.
You're useless forever. Like, I'll still go to places... You know, I'll go to places where they've had somebody that I know is a good scanner in, but because they were at the start of their journey, they'll say they're absolutely useless.
Them off.
Aye. Oh, they're useless. But, well, yeah, they were useless when they were just starting.
Yeah.
But they're not now. You know, and you just have to be up front. So, yeah, very difficult to learn. It was very hard on the ego. I definitely struggled with that when I started. You know, it was hard to go from being this hard-working, tidy sheep shearer to being the useless sheep scanner.
Yeah.
It was a sore one.
Were people quite honest with their feedback, or was it more through the rumour mill?
No, I would generally ask for feedback, yeah.
Okay.
And you have to be upfront with people. You know, you have to be upfront with people and say you're just learning. Like, if you go and try and do 400 U's and pretend you're an expert, they'll know straight away you're lying to them. So what's the point? You're better to be honest about it. What I did when I started, and this is another thing you need to factor in, is that the startup costs are huge. So now I think it's about £18,000 for the scanner.
You are joking.
Yeah, don't quote me on that. It's about that. It's about that. Somebody commented on Facebook the other day, that's what they're at now. So that's for the scanner and the probe. And this is like ultrasound technology. It's the same as what midwives use in the hospitals. So you're scanning your probe, 18,000. The crate, so I got one from Duncan Kennedy, which at the time I think was about 3,000. So we're at 21,000 now to get going. I then got a trailer. You don't have to get a trailer. You know, I got a trailer, although my trailer was very cheap. But let's throw another 1,000 in for that, 22,000. You've then your pickup to pull it, although mine's is cheap. Going by the Auto Trader listing right now. But it's not an Auto Trader, don't look. But yeah, so you've then your pickup to pull the stuff.
The course.
The course is £700, I think, for the beginner course. Maybe the same again for the advanced. Huge layout.
Yeah.
So you need to lay out, let's say you lay out 21,000 and you don't have any work. Do you know what I mean? Unless you are taking over a run from someone or someone is going to feed you jobs like you did for me to get me started. Like, how do you get started? You know, there's a lot of folk try it and give it up, and I can understand. And yeah, it's getting the work. So you've laid out 21,000, and then what's better is for the first couple of years, like any decent sized job I got, I just did it for nothing.
Did you?
Yeah, like small lots that were a bit of a nuisance, doing 2 or 3, a few sheep here and there. You would charge for them, of course, but like if I got a good big run at sheep and a great chance to get on in a job that I would want to really keep forever, I would do it for nothing. So who can afford? I was working in the police at the time, so I could afford to do that.
Yeah.
So I took out a personal loan to buy the scanner, which at the time was only 12,000. I believe it's 18 now. It was only 12 when I bought it. So I took out a loan to buy all the gear, and then I could work for nothing for 2 years.
Because you had another
Because I had another job and I was shearing and stuff. So like anyone wants to get into scanning, you need to think to yourself, let's lay out 21,000 and then do it for nothing for 2 years.
And be willing
in the hope that you get some work.
Yeah.
That doesn't guarantee you any work.
Yeah.
Because it's getting more and more, there's more and more people doing it now. It's very, very, there is more and more people doing it. But yeah, I mean, it's not a difficult, it's difficult to get it right and be accurate. It is difficult, but it's not.
See now, is it still difficult?
I still make plenty of mistakes.
Yeah, but I mean...
No, I don't find it so difficult. Like I was at a place today that was an absolute nightmare, but that was because I was late getting there. They should have been scanned probably 2-3 weeks ago. Dairy farm, straight off the grass, triplets, nightmare. My wrist was about to fall off. That's difficult. Okay. But no, generally speaking, I've got my farmers fairly well tuned up now. The sheep are in, emptying out before I get there.
Okay.
And emptying out means like emptying their stomachs, because if they're full of grass, it's very difficult to scan. So no, I don't find it particularly hard now. And as I say, really enjoying it this year, enjoying just getting about, getting the crack.
Good. And
not having to worry about all the things that are happening for buy. So that maybe puts an idea into why it's so expensive.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like it is a big risk, big layout, and then obviously I wasn't doing 1,500 sheep in a day when I first started. You could barely do 300 in a day. It'd take you all day.
Build it up.
And you'd be in agony. So yeah, it's one of those things, loads of people in my position would love to be sheep scanners, but it's a hard one to get into.
Okay.
Anyway, and one day, who knows, one day I might get to scan your dad's sheep. I'm always saying to Hugh, if he's ever want to give up Chris Flat, give me a phone,
You'll get a good lemon drizzle.
But he loves it too much. He still goes. Aye, he loves it.
Crystalix Extra High Energy Feed Blocks have been providing high energy supplementation to ewes, lambs and rams in the UK since 1978. Packed full of protein, vitamins, minerals and trace elements, Crystalix Extra High Energy has been proven to increase live lamb numbers and improve lamb daily live weight gain at a cost of only 4 to 7 pence per ewe per day. To view the full Crystalix range and find your nearest stockist, visit crystalix-global.com.
So yes, do we have some questions to answer this week?
We do.
Right, let's
have
do
some
it.
questions.
Should we talk about the farmer protests?
Yes.
Do you have any thoughts on it? Do you
Do
follow any of it?
I've caught up with bits and bobs, to be honest, not a huge amount.
Yeah. I'm getting messages from people wanting me to get involved with it. And I'll give my quick thoughts on it. This is a Cammy Wilson podcast here.
Yeah.
Let me give my quick thoughts on it.
I have listened to a podcast about it. We're gonna speak to Andrew from Farm Theory. By the way, if you haven't, check out Farm Theory on TikTok, and he's on YouTube as well. If you're a dairy farmer, definitely check him out. He's really scientific, really clever, without being arrogant. He's setting, this is the way he wants to do it. Okay.
But he's not like, you have to do it this way. He's like, this is what works for me, and I'm showing you that I'm doing it.
and I really like his stuff.
Yeah.
So
what does he do? Just videos and things?
Yeah, well, he does a lot of TikToks, like answering questions and showing. He's like a program. He can program things and stuff. He's got crazy things. So like he'll show you. He has this chart or graph he's done to show where every tractor has been on every field on the farm to look for compaction.
Really?
So it must be through GPS in the tractor, I assume, that he can see what parts of the field.
How many times it's gone over?
Yeah, so he can see what parts of the field are likely to have compaction issues because of where the tractor.
Oh, that's clever.
Yeah. Well, it's clever or just really, really sad. Andrew won't mind me saying that. He knows that himself. We're going to speak to him about it because he knows a lot more about these European protests than I do, as well as Sandy, who's Farm Stock. He speaks well about it on TikTok. He's on the Farmers Weekly podcast now. He's co-hosting that. Farmers Weekly podcast, actually, good podcast. Used to be very, very Tory.
Right, okay.
But it's
changing?
Definitely, yeah. I feel it's a bit better balance now.
Okay.
Yeah, bit better balance. Well, that's because I've taken on a West of Scotland man.
Mm-hmm.
And Sandy's on. Sandy Kirkpatrick, I believe it is. Sorry if it's Kilpatrick. Sandy Kirkpatrick, I'm sure it is. On Farmers Weekly is good. I've even been listening to Farming Today, BBC 4. Wow. Just because I just listen to podcasts all day. So the protests.
Yes, the protests.
So I've been asked to say, it's different. See, because I think agriculture's like a devolved thing. Mm-hmm. So I think the farmers in Wales who had a large meeting in Welshpool last week absolutely are at a spot where they probably need to protest.
Okay, why? Because
from what I have seen, the Welsh government are hell-bent on this green agenda, and by the looks of it, they're going to make farmers plant 10% of their farm. That's a very rough, what I've got from it. That they're going to make the farmers, at least in Scotland, for comparison, in Scotland the government just buys the farms and then plants them.
Yeah.
But if you had the money, you could outbid the government for that farm. Like it's a fairer playing field than being forced. Like no one here has been forced. Like if you want to keep farming, you're not forced to plant trees here. Not yet.
So they've been given money to do it?
Yeah, there is, but that's not the point. It's like, I just don't think that's the point, eh? It's like, it's fine if they do. It's fine if they do it like in Scotland. They say you can get this money for planting your farm.
Yeah.
It's different if they say you will plant your farm and here's some money.
Yeah, because it's their land.
Well, that's it. And like, I have so much respect for farmers and landowners that are not planting trees.
Okay, why?
It's the easy option. Like, plant trees, easy option. Take the money. Do you know what I mean?
But I think there's also as a side of it where planting trees can be a good thing.
Oh, see if you have like hill bits that are unproductive.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Exactly, yeah.
Trees, yes, great trees. What I'm meaning is like
good fertile ground.
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
So just to clarify, all for planting trees on unproductive ground, absolutely. But when there's dairy farms along the road there getting planted in trees.
Yeah, that's mad.
I mean, I was past a farm at Hollybush the other day, who many people listening to this podcast will know. They've got it all fenced up. I mean, it's all like reseeded parks. It's all been double fenced now to be planted in trees.
Yeah.
Like, it's shocking. Absolutely shocking. But at least nobody's been forced into it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And agriculture in Scotland, as far as I can see, is okay just now. Mm-hmm. It's pretty good.
Yeah. Farmers seem happy.
Yeah. Like, beef's good. Lamb's incredible. Dairy's steadying up. Mm-hmm. It's pretty solid where it is. Germany, what tipped them over the edge, and what might tip us over the edge as well if it came about here, is they're doing away with the red diesel allowance, like their diesel subsidy, which is like our red diesel.
Okay.
So essentially, we're going to be having to pay full price for diesel, which in a country like Germany and France, but I don't know exactly the whole French thing, but in a country like Germany, that's like massively going to put up the price of food because it's a huge arable country.
Yeah, okay.
Do you know what I mean? Whereas
using so much machinery.
Yeah, like Scotland putting the diesel up would be sore on farmers, but it wouldn't be the absolute end of the world, except for your big arable guys and stuff. You know, it would hit your beef and dairy guys when they're making silage massively, put the cost of that up. But it wouldn't be a crippler like it would, and obviously why the German farmers went mental, because there's so many arable places. Hopefully they don't do that. It would be madness to me if they do, because the thing with diesel subsidy, the red diesel, doesn't cost the government anything in real terms. They don't get the tax off it, like they do with normal diesel, but it's not actually costing them anything.
Why not?
Because they're not subsidising it. They just don't tax it.
Right, okay.
You know what I mean?
Okay, yeah.
They're not giving the farmer any. It's not like subsidies where they're paying out to the farmer. It's just the red diesel.
They're just losing money that they didn't have.
Just doesn't have the same fuel tax on it as normal white diesel has. So it's not actually costing them anything, and it helps keep the food cheap. So it'd be madness. I mean, I don't know what they were thinking about in Germany, but they've obviously reneged on it now. So it shows the power of the farmers' protest. And France have reneged on their things as well.
Have they?
Yeah. And in fact, the French farmers are so into it.
Oh, I was pumped up. See, after listening to that podcast with the French farmer on it, and I was like, I was behind them all the way. I was like, yes.
Yeah. And that was Farming Funny.
Yeah, Farming Funny.
Have a good podcast interviewing a French farmer. Talking about it all. And they're very passionate, the French farmers.
Yeah.
And the Germans and Scottish and farmers are passionate.
Yeah.
And it was just interesting that, they won. And I would hope if the Welsh farmers go out on protest that they can have the same effect. I don't think I think with protest, I almost feel like you get to shoot your shot once.
Oh yeah. I think you have to go hard once.
Yeah, but it has to be for the right reasons. Like, we don't have the right reasons here in Scotland. Do you know what I mean? We have no reason to do a big protest.
The
public wouldn't be on side. Because there's nothing really against us just now yet that the public would get on board with. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, it would be a waste.
It'd be a waste of a
Whereas
protest.
who knows in 5 years' time and it could be in a different situation.
Absolutely. Yeah. Just see how things go. But yeah, I think it's got. So that's my thoughts on it. There's nothing for me to protest about. Welsh farmers, totally different. But in that kind of selfish way, I've got enough to worry about with myself just now. Like, sorting out myself and Lizzie and the boys and working for our future. I don't have enough time to worry about everything else. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
At most, we might manage to worry about this dog legislation, but I'm really just focused on working.
Yep.
And our own thing. And if I played devil's advocate, would it be such a bad thing? This will upset some people.
Go for it.
But, they talk about subsidy reform. And from the rumour I've heard, actually, I think the subsidies are going up slightly next year.
Oh, are they?
So I've been told. Someone will tell me in the comments if I'm talking nonsense. But apparently the subsidies in Scotland, that is, are going up slightly next year. Inflation. No. But would it be such a bad thing for someone like me if there was no subsidies?
Well, do you know, that's really interesting because I was speaking to my friends who have never had a subsidy, and there was discussions because somebody's subsidy was getting cut, or I can't remember, and they were talking to two people, and neither of them have had subsidies, and they're surviving.
Well, one's a nurse and the other one's a... We just stick to farming for a second here, Iona. So two people that haven't had subs and they're surviving. Yeah, I'm playing devil's advocate here, okay? But I'm just looking at it from the point of view of someone who has no farm. Although technically I'm a farmer because I'm farming sheep, I'm not really a farmer. I don't have a farm. I have no steading. I just rent blocks of land on seasonal grazing. So would it be such a bad thing for me if the subsidy went? That is the question I'm putting out there. I don't know the answer. It could well be that it would be a disaster for me because then rents would get much higher because the landowners would still want the same money. But because they're now not getting the sub, the rent has to go up. Yeah. So actually it would cripple me. Every possibility. Or would it open up the whole world, like the whole market?
I think it's taken something from somebody who have built their life around getting it. Not built their life around getting it, but if they're used to getting that money year in, year out, and then they suddenly stop getting it, that's a massive adjustment.
Oh, absolutely. Whereas for me, I've never had it, so it's easy. Yeah. Oh, I absolutely, and I'm not saying I absolutely do not think we should do away with subsidies. Like, can I just say, I do not think we should do away with subsidies because if we do, it's the consumer that has to make up the difference. It's the person buying the stuff from the supermarket or the shop that then has to pay the difference. And I always say they're not subsidising the farmers, they're subsidising food. But for someone like me who's desperate to get in would it be such a bad thing?
Yeah,
That is just the question I'm asking. Let me know what you think on that. I don't know the answer, but let us know.
See, just a side note.
Yeah.
You mentioned there about looking after yourself, which made me think about your hair, Nia. How is it?
Do you know, actually, when I'm scanning, it's fine. See, because my seat sits very upright and like I'm sitting jammed in. It never bothers me once.
Does it not?
Actually, it's been great recently because I'm just sitting down all day. What's the deal with it? Well, I tried to dose sheep the other day and I had to let Lizzie take over, and she's like 20 odd weeks pregnant. Because it's like, see, you're trying to, even with the Tapari, when you're trying to like hold the head and work the gun at this, but even if I stand up for too long, it gives me problems. But I don't want to go on about it.
No, me neither, but I just want to say what's happening with it. Like what?
Well, do you know, funny, good job you said that, actually. I've got an appointment for Tuesday, but I can't go because I'm going to Inverness.
Oh, for God's sake.
I know, so I need to try and remind me, will you, to phone and cancel that.
That also reminds me about another question that we got asked about a female who, now I can't remember because I just read it and I can't remember where I read it, so I've not got it in front of me, but she was asking about how Lizzie manages her pregnancy and being around pregnant sheep.
Yeah, good question. There's no danger from the sheep at this stage. You know, we're still 2 months away from, 2 months away from lambing.
I know.
Is that right? Oh my God. 2 months away from lambing. So there's no real danger at this stage. However, yeah, as she gets closer, it's a kind of funny one because, well, it's not a funny one at all. You just don't go near sheep while they're lambing. It's essentially the dangers in the, enzootic abortion and toxoplasmosis or whatever it's called. We just call it enzo and toxo usually. I don't need to worry about the full name. But it's these dangerous things that can cause real issues with women and potential abortion and things like that. Lizzie, at lambing time, will be 4 weeks away from lambing herself. So at that stage, it's a lot lower risk. But we'll not even be chancing it. Like, she'll just be... And what a lot of folk don't know is that Farm Vet Films Kaz informed me, it can pass in the air. So even if you think I'm just going to walk through the lambing shed, you'll be fine.
Really?
You have to wear a mask. Yep. Because Lizzie before was walking and Kaz seen it in a lambing vlog and he messaged me, he's like,
really?
Lizzie should really wear a mask because it can, and a lot of folk don't know that.
No. My friend, she's actually had her wee girl now. But
what did she call it?
Annie.
Annie, okay.
Yeah, after her gran.
Yep.
Annie Maeve. Maeve's the middle name.
Okay. Maeve's like in Sex Education, that programme. Have you seen that?
You watched the first season, I think, but a long time ago.
It's trash, absolute trash. But yeah, anyway, nice name. I'm not really into middle names.
I've not got one.
Nah, I don't like middle names.
Have you got one?
Yeah.
What is it?
Maybe that's why I don't like middle names.
What is it?
Smith. It's mum's maiden name.
I was just going to say, if it's your mum's maiden name, that's the
it's
only
mum's maiden
acceptable
name.
way.
Yeah. But
Who's like, I love the name. I love the name Smith.
Yeah, I know. Anyway, needless to say, I never use it, but it's just one of those things that you have to write it out in a form. Like, when do you use a middle name? Like,
yeah, that's beneficial.
But then my mum is called by her middle name. Like, everyone knows my mum by her middle name.
Really?
Yeah. So there's examples of that, I suppose. But yeah, no, for Jock has a middle name because it's Lizzie's dad's name.
Okay.
And he passed away not long before Jock was born. So,
that's nice.
Absolutely nice, and not much I could argue with that. But Angus doesn't have a middle name. Okay. And the next one won't have a middle name. So we're all good.
Yeah.
Anyway, sorry, tangent. Annie.
So when Susan was pregnant, she obviously works full time on the farm, and she found it so difficult online to find information about what's safe to use and what's not safe to use when pregnant. And what she found is with a lot of vaccinations and different things, they just say not to while pregnant because just to cover their back, but actually there's probably not dangers in it.
I know, but why you vaccinate? Aye, but I'm on the side of
don't risk it.
Why you? Aye, I don't let Lizzie. I say don't let Lizzie. She still does it sometimes, but if I'm there or like Marissa's there or someone that can control her or have influence it some way, I don't let her like jag lame sheep or work with a needle at all.
Right, okay, just in case.
Why would you?
Yeah, I know, you wouldn't take the risk.
For the sake of what? Vaccinating a couple of sheep?
Yeah, fair play.
What's the point? And if you're going to do it with Tapari. That is one thing, like, for women working in farming, like Lizzie can still dose sheep and dag out sheep and sort feet so easy because they're controlled. She doesn't have to worry about them jumping up and hitting her.
Yeah.
It's all controlled and safe. It's great.
Most foragers don't supply sheep and cattle with enough cobalt, copper, iodine and selenium. critical to digestion, immunity, reproduction and growth. When it comes to supplementation, there's a danger of under or oversupply. But when bolusing with Animax Trace Show, you can be sure every animal has enough for up to 6 months in one single application. Animax, giving what it takes.
So have we done a question yet?
No.
No, let's do a question.
Okay.
30 minutes in, good effort.
Okay.
Basically just been me talking, isn't it?
Yeah.
I think that's why I started a podcast. This is my therapy.
Well, do you know what?
Waffle.
I'm just going to change the question based on what you've just said there. So it's Amber and
what's the name of my therapist? Is that the question?
No.
No, okay, right.
Why?
Iona Murray. No, I thought just because I mentioned therapy.
When? What are you talking about?
I talked about this is my therapy, and you says, well, just because you've said that, I'm going to change the question.
Right, sorry, no.
But you meant something else.
I meant something else about you just saying it's been you talking. That's why you started a podcast. So Amber said, just wondering what made you want to start the podcast and the inspiration behind it. And I wonder if this is a good chance for you to maybe give a wee bit of background on Fed as well.
Yeah, so Fed by Farmers was an idea I had 3 years ago, maybe 4 years ago, as a cover-all brand of like, how could we do something that's all of farming, chatting to different, doing something with different farmers, making videos on different farms. And I initially thought as well, get it as a clothing brand that's like wearing it on your chest with pride to say, Fed by Farmers. And it's for me, it's meant to encourage thought. It's positive for a start. I don't like, you see loads of these things, it's like, it has negative words in it. No farmers, no food, no future. Great slogan, but it's still quite negative. No.
Yeah.
You can't do it without us.
Yep.
Whereas I wanted something that was just, all I'm about is positivity. You know that.
Yeah.
Anyone that follows my Facebook page, unless it's talking about dogs off leads, it's all, I don't do negative things.
No.
Like I don't come on ranting. I don't speak about, well, I rant on here a little bit, but I just stay away from negativity.
No, but I feel like you don't rant. You give opinions on things.
Thank you. That's very nice of you. Unless it's dogs, then I do rant.
Yeah.
And we'll come back to that. But so Fed by Farmers was my way of a positive branding, positive message. And it should be, folk read it and go, Fed by Farmers. Oh yeah, I suppose we are.
Yeah, it's like a united thing.
Yeah.
It's something
it
that
unites
actually,
us all.
Every single person in this world. And you know what? Maybe that's a wee task for us to find something else, a statement that's true about every single person in the world.
But I tell you an incredible one, and I thank Australia Lamb for this.
Okay.
Is that every religion can eat lamb.
Yeah.
That's one of the great things about lamb.
Okay.
Australia Lamb did this great advert where it's like all the world religions, not Muhammad because you can't depict him, but like all, Buddha and Jesus and Zeus and whoever all the gods are. Right?
Zeus?
Well, he is
what
a god.
religion, Zeus?
Well, he's Thor's dad and he's a god of gods.
Right.
Zeus, you can Zeus with a big beard.
No, I know Zeus, but I'm just thinking, is Zeus a religion?
Ah, but he's a god.
But,
so maybe it's just all gods. Are gods not just religious? That's a good question.
I don't know.
There's a good question.
Because I feel they're like Buddha, that's Buddhism. Zeus.
Zeusism.
I just don't think.
Zeusism? I don't know. Anyway, he's Thor's dad. But anyway, I'm sure he's in this. I'm sure he's in this advert, and that's the good thing. It's they're sitting about and they go, "What are we gonna eat?" And someone goes, "We could have lamb." And it's like, "Oh yeah, I love lamb." Yeah, and then they all eat lamb because every religion eats lamb.
Are you religious?
No. But I am. I'm one of these people. I'm very respectful of people. I make fun a little bit and have a wee joke about it, but I'm very respectful of people who are religious. What is wrong with us? What is wrong with us? So anyway, that was how Fed started, and then basically I've been thinking about it for so long. Then I got in tow with Al's Cousins, who's artist, designer, genius, and I told him my idea and asked if he would come on board and work with it. So Al's is a partner in the Fed by Farmers business that we have set up now, and he does like all the stuff I can't do. Like it wouldn't be happening if it wasn't for him. It would just be an idea in my head because I didn't have time to do it all. So he did the branding and got the whole ball rolling with the clothing and all the stuff we're doing with that. It's just to build this big brand. It's about positivity and promoting farming. So that is what Fed by Farmers. And the podcast, I'd previously done podcasts on Patreon through the Sheep Game.
Oh, had you?
Yeah, so I've done podcasts before. And
Solo podcast?
Solo, yeah, sorry. And it was online, like Zoom type calls. So I've done some with like Andrew Marchant come on a podcast. Big Sean from the Viking from Orkney did a good one with him. And these are maybe ones we might use someday and release on here. But the people who were on the Patreon, which is like a subscription thing, absolutely loved it. Like, thought they were great and the feedback was incredible. So I always thought I should really start a podcast. But I thought, if I'm going to do a podcast, I want to do it like this. I want to do it in person. You know, our lighting and setup isn't quite perfect yet. We're getting there. I wanted good audio quality, video it so you can put it on YouTube so people can watch it there if they want and get guests in person.
It's just different, isn't it?
It just, for me, it's that, like, I'm all about banter and you just don't get the banter if they're not there. No. You know, if they're not sitting right in front of you, you just don't get the banter. So that is a big thing with what I wanted with this podcast. And then it just all lucky fell in that you happened to be available as well and made it all work. So yeah, that's kind of Fed by Farmers, the update on that.
Yeah, okay, fabulous.
And I love podcasts as well. I just say, as I've kind of alluded to at the
so
start.
that's another thing. So seeing when you're scanning, do you just have podcasts
Constantly.
playing? Yeah.
Constantly.
Okay, so this is just Gail, who...
A strong Gail.
A strong Gail?
I always love that when it's going to be when the storm's coming and you ever see the memes when it's like a weather map, like a map of the UK, then it's Gail from Coronation Street with a massive bicep. Strong Gail's forecast.
So it's just talking a wee bit. I think this is just about your kind of character. But Gail is just saying, basically asking how you managed to keep your composure with your dog attack recently. And she was wondering if it's like the police background helps and you can switch into work mode and keep your composure when dealing with these situations.
Yeah, it probably is. It probably is.
I don't know. I think you've just got that kind of nature anyway.
You would have to do something like probably direct towards Lizzie or the kids or something to really get me like.
Have you ever lost your temper?
Punching you in the throat. Like,
have you ever done that?
Oh, I've lost my temper. Of course I have.
Have you?
Aye. I mean, I can't remember the last time I did it. I lost my temper really. Probably not. I'd lose my temper occasionally in the police.
Like, would you? That's hard.
Oh yeah. Like. Well, no, various reasons. Usually when someone's fighting with you, you know, you'd give them a couple of chances to stop it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If they're maybe throwing punches or start some of that nonsense, and then like, oh, you've had your chance. I don't know if I was even losing my temper at that.
I know.
I'm trying to think of an example of when I've lost my temper.
I think losing your temper's it's something quite...
Or someone spat and it went in my mouth one time. Yeah, I lost my...
Oh, God.
I'd lost my temper that time. That did wind me up. Yeah, that was just so dirty, man. I was raging. Yeah, I know.
Oh, that's so disgusting.
It's not as if it was like some tidy bird. It was like some horrible wee guy. It was like, no, because the problem is, and then what made it worse is then they start shouting, "I've got AIDS." That's what they do. These folk like this, like these guys you deal with, you know, generally, was a drug user. They start spitting and then say they've got AIDS. Because they know if they do that, you end up, like, if they get it on you, it's crazy, you have to go to, like, hospital and all that. So, I can't remember what happened to that I can't remember what happened to that. If I ended up going to the hospital just for a check, I think I maybe did. A blood test or something. I don't think I did. I don't think I bothered, because he didn't actually have AIDS.
Right.
This was years ago. This is when I first started. I learned my lesson to stay away from these people. But yeah, that's probably the last time. But in terms of working the dog, like, getting angry, I'm a big believer. See, losing your temper, you never make a better decision when you're angry.
No.
You never make a better decision when you're angry. And generally, you regret the decisions you make when you're angry. So as soon as you feel yourself boiling over, take a breath. Keep cool here. Let's sort this situation. Yeah, because you never, ever make a better decision when you're angry. And then you regret it. I remember one day, in fact, I'll tell you who I credit that saying with. Some people listening to this will know it, but James Andrew, one day we were shearing, and James Andrew never loses his temper.
Okay.
Like, no matter how bad the day's going or what problems happen, never seen him get angry. And he's under a lot of pressure and, you know, shearing a lot of sheep and tired all the time, which is usually what causes short temper, is tiredness. But one day we're way behind already, having a disaster of a day, and then we're going somewhere and the wheel comes off the trailer, which happens a lot as well, I should say. The shearing trailer, one of the wheels comes off. So need to pull into the side of the road, and we're around. It's like, oh, this is another disaster. Like, it's going to cost us another hour or so because, we couldn't pull it as it was. Mm-hmm. And I says to him, like, do you never, like, he was totally calm. I'm like, do you never get mad about these things? And he's like, how's that going to help? And I was like, good. It was like a kind of moment like that with me. I was like, good point.
The only person you're punishing is yourself.
Yeah, well, all the people around about you.
Mm-hmm.
No,
but I mean, sorry, yeah. But I mean, like, you.
I was going to say, it's the people who love you most, but do you know, the only people you're hurting is the people who love you most. But that reminds me of a hilarious meme. Now I've got tangents. I love a good tangent. There's this great meme. Have you ever seen these people with the septum piercings?
Oh, I've seen people with them, yeah.
Yeah, so a septum piercing, for anyone that doesn't know, it's like basically like a bull. Mm-hmm. Like a bull has a ring through its nose. There's like people do that to themselves and have this septum piercing thing. And the meme, it's like a family cuddling each other. Mm-hmm. And the meme is, it's so good. I'll put it on the screen here just now for anyone watching YouTube. But the meme is, do septum piercings hurt? And then it says, they hurt the people who love you most.
I don't get it.
Because they have to look at it.
That is funny.
Because it's like, do septum piercings hurt? They hurt the people who love you most. Because imagine looking at your beautiful daughter or son, be a beautiful daughter, puts a bloody ring through her nose like a bull.
I used to have my nose
I
pierced.
You used to have
I didn't have
pierced.
a septum, but I used to have my nose pierced.
Right.
It fell out.
Okay. And then just didn't do it again?
No, I actually did it twice more. Both times fell out as well, but I have got a tiny nostrils.
Okay.
So
it's hard to get the back in there?
Yeah, it looks like a kind of corkscrew, but it was quite difficult.
Okay, yeah. No, better anyway. It's for young lassies, is it not?
Yeah, I'm too old for that now.
Aye, you're over the hill.
By that.
Aye. You had a good run.
Yeah.
How's the aches and pains?
Fine.
Aye.
Just a bad neck, but
aye, it's okay.
I'm going to get myself a laptop stand.
Oh, because you're looking down like this?
Yeah.
Aye, end up with a hump.
Neck.
Aye, okay. Get you a standing desk as well. We'll review it at the budget meeting. Anyway, we're getting on. We're on for 50 minutes there.
Okay, let's wrap this up.
Was there another question? Is that we've done a
let's
few
wrap
questions.
it.
Wrap it. Okay, thanks again to our sponsors, Crystalix and Animax, absolute bloody legends, for coming on with the podcast. Hope you enjoyed their slick little videos as well if you're watching on YouTube, and of course the audio files there too. Iona, anything exciting happening this week? Or this weekend, I should say.
Well, we've got the NFU.
Yes,
conference.
Okay. This will actually be out. Yeah, this will be out the morning of the NFU conference. So as we speak, we're at the NFU conference.
Tour?
Yes, and we're going to record a bit of content there, hopefully. I might bottle it and be too shy and be like, no, don't do that. But we'll see. So yeah, that's what we're both doing this week.
Yep, you're away in Inverness.
Inverness, rush home. Then I'm in Arran.
Are you?
Straight home. 2 days in Inverness, home, over to Arran for a day. Earliest boat, last boat, back, NFU conference. It's all go. Anyway, thanks for listening, folks. I've been Cammy.
I've been Iona.
And we are both Fed by Farmers.